All right, we are live on Overnight Finance AMA. Today's 6/6 and Monday, and this is our seventh AMA, I think, Max, in a row. So we haven't skipped a single week. So it's pretty cool. Love that. I hope you guys also enjoy this talking with us because it's extremely important for us to make sure that we are transparent with you and showing what we do. And as a reminder, this will be also on YouTube, and now it's also on Twitter and on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well. And we're getting ready with our weekly update. What we have accomplished in this week. So from the milestones, we'll start with milestones. Our efforts have finally paid off, guys. In the midst of a bear market, we've crossed over 1 million in TVL. So yeah, give us a big thumb up. It's an amazing achievement for the team, and thing is that for us, we have not like paid for any of those money. This is organic. So big shout out to our community, to Dystopia, Penrose, to Sphere Finance, who support us a lot in this journey and in this achievement. Um, so definitely, Siem, if you want to get on the stage, by the way, I'm not seeing. Yeah, Siem, invite to speak. Just yeah, just also join in. And while this merely marks the start of our journey of like basically revolutionizing liquidity provisions, this is a testament of USD Plus's model of being more capital efficient. Post UST times have called for more collateralized stablecoins, and hence being fully collateralized with secure stablecoins, USD is the obvious winner here, and we really enjoy what's going on up there. Today we're also joined by Simsala, a lead developer of Sphere Finance, and the brain behind the whole Sphere ecosystem, which includes Sphere Finance, Dystopia, Penrose, Prion, and other, you name it, like projects. And there's more to come, of course. So please welcome Sim, and he'll be answering your questions and our questions today, along with Max.
In another AMA, I was jokingly saying that Simsala is now going to be like Christine Lagarde, like a central banker, because he will need to run a monetary policy and make sure the inflation doesn't take over Prion. So big part of making Prion a success is going to be about limiting the amount of loans. We're kind of developing it gradually as PUSD finds its use cases and is used as a kind of a reserve currency more and more. For example, in joint pools with USD Plus. That is why nobody is going to switch on 20 times leverage day one. I mean, we got to be super careful, make sure the peg is maintained. Interest rates are reasonable. And like as soon as you go, if you see sign of inflation, like pre-sign of inflation, you stop monetary emissions.
Yeah, that's like supplies. You don't mint more than the supply offers in a sense, right? You replenish the supply, and then people can actually leverage against it.
Yeah. And with how you mentioned, obviously Wonderland being a volatile asset, is that like an inkling of what you're kind of going against? You're thinking you're going to mainly farm stable coins within the loans, or
use non-blue chip assets for the time being. For the beginning, we're not gonna use non-stable assets. There is also, of course, another risk a lot of people forget. Like a lot of people look at the DPEG. That is, of course, a very inference, it's like a very how do you call it, valid risk. But there's also another risk. What happens if you can't liquidate, right? There's something called bad debt. So you also have to keep in mind about bad debt and how that happens, right? So there's a lot of other risks you also have to factor in. So
So are you saying you're going to give me 1 million Sphere to make an educational video on how to mine them? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying this was a good question I talked to you, Brand.
Well, I couldn't do the whole thing without trolling you, Sim, could I?
That's true. It's always like that's why like I try to have a meaningful conversation with Brent every time, and then he comes at the end of the day, and you know, like you're gonna give me a million sphere, right, Sim?
You know, he started so smartly. Like, you are
Yeah.
guys all educated on finance and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But what
that's every time. Every time I sit with him, and the thing is, he doesn't ask anyone in Sphere AMAs. He knows when I'm in another AMA. He comes and asks because then the host thinks, you know, he has a profile picture, his full name. You know, he comes, he talks with his English. You know, like people think, okay, he's like a nice guy, and then at the end of the day, he has to trigger me somehow. But you know,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I wouldn't want to get everybody's hopes up about my personality being too ingenious, would I?
Can we get someone else now?
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for the answer. And
Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Brent.
love
You
you.
have to chat with Lilo, Andre, if possible, because Lilo has raised his hand for a long time, and it's a very good friend of our protocol. So maybe
Actually,
let's have Lilo on stage.
I invited Lilo, but I don't think Lilo ever accepted it. So now it's Dark. Dark getting on the stage. So Lilo, Dark, come in.
Cool, I'm going to step down. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Dark.
Thanks. He's done.
Dark,
He-
Lilo.
Yeah.
Feel free to come in on the stage. All right, there's Volar.
Okay, everybody who has a plus next to their name gets a privilege, like gets ahead in the line for talking. As long as there is somebody with a plus, we ask them first.
Wait, let's do something. Let's everyone change to the plus to minus just to flip the switch on Max.
What are you doing with us? Hey Lila, how are you?
Yeah, Lilo doesn't usually talk, so I think someone else would be better.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
That's okay. Dark is getting on the stage. Yeah, Volar. Hey Volar,
Ooh, right.
how are you? We cannot hear you. Yeah, Volar, we cannot hear you.
Thank you, Waller, for the good question. Yeah, I think we should get K to Tenma. Yeah, he has. I know this guy has a mic because his voice is annoying, and that's why it always works.
Wow, that's a bit rude.
Immediately, it works. Like I know that. I'm born ready. Hit me, Kato.
Okay, super quick question. I won't be here for long. You know when you vote lock Penrose on Pen on Penrose, and it has that 16-week timer.
Yeah.
If I or anyone locks more, say 12 weeks in after locking the first bit, does it reset the whole thing, or will that first lock still unlock at 16 weeks, and then the second deposit will be locked for a further?
Yeah, you get relocked. It relocks.
So it relocks the whole thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, that was all I had.
That was the question?
Yeah.
Disappointing as always.
Cheers, guys.
Very efficient. Thanks for this. Yeah. Lilo is back.
Lily's back. Yeah, and Lily's on the stage now. Hey Lilo.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
I've never heard Lily.
Thank you.
Only in chat. Lily. You have a voice.
Oh,
Beautiful
me
voice.
and Andrew go way back.
Lilo sounds like my lost son. Lilo, is that you?
Yes, it is me.
Okay. I was just scared for a second. Sub, what's your question, Lilo? And why would you ask that publicly?
Okay, I think you knew what I was gonna ask.
Hit me.
Now, why are you so big and buff and smart?
Get this one out of here. Get
Nice,
him out of here.
Lilo. Yeah, I think you just earned the bonus.
Man, Lilo knows how I look like in real life.
Oh.
Yeah. Man. Thank you,
Hello, I
Leland.
thought you would have a French accent when you speak from your name. You didn't have any.
Sorry, what did you say?
You should have a
I
French.
said I thought you would have a French accent from your name. I thought you would have a French accent.
Oh no, I'm not French.
He's a bad boy. That's his nationality, bad boy. I checked his passport. He's not a French. Anyhow, let's get to the last questions, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
I think Voller just swapped the mics. Voller, are you ready to ask your question? Not yet. And also we've got Dejin SK.
Yeah.
He makes the best names.
Yeah, Degenes. Anyway, let's see here. I'm nervous about Prion as far as loans, and I really don't understand how that works. As far as I got, I understand the LP. I'm getting, Penrose and basically a manual type of compounding that allows me to do that through selling the pen and then going back into either a stable or a volatile LP and then earning rewards from that. Holding back Sphere, putting it in games, letting that cook in the back burner. But like the thing for me is when we introduce this loans, I'm dead set against loans. Like the last thing I need is more debt in my life. And if you could explain to me kind of what the justification is there, and or what the premise of is it, and how I would benefit from it. By the way, you guys are brilliant. Just the whole thing is absolutely keeps me inspired and drawing all the time. And
Yeah, I remember you at the very beginning, remember? And that is not meant in a bad way, but you were like, when you joined Sphere's Discord at the very beginning, you were like, what makes Sphere interesting, or why should I buy Sphere or hold Sphere, right?
Yeah.
You were one of my key motivations, and since this is the first time I talked to you, I was like, you are one of the key motivations. Were like, yeah, this guy, he grinds my gears because you're like, this is just a fork. Or at the very beginning, you didn't know how Sphere operates and all that stuff, which is totally fair. I was like, this dude, I'm gonna convince him so bad that we are unique, and I'm happy to see you around even after all the downturns and stuff like that. So cheers out to you, man. And I appreciate you, and
Yeah, no, I mean, once I got off the the rebase tip and realized that inflation is killing it, and moving to that forced appreciation, and really, I mean, it's just basically stacking up about 100,000 Sphere, and you're like, dude, this could be some money, and I have in 7 years of crypto, I have lost money more ways than you can imagine. I could write a pretty good sizable book on how to lose money in crypto.
You should maybe write one, maybe alongside some memes in the book.
But I appreciate it. But as far as the loans,
yeah,
that just why would you introduce that? I mean, it sounds like a banking type mechanism, I guess.
Yeah. So let me introduce that. So basically, how you probably imagine loans are interest bearing, right? You pay interest on the loans. And how these traditional loans work and how Prion changes that is traditional loans work like you take $1,000 loan, right? You provide something in value technically for $1,000, and you borrow against that, right? And take the loan. Or technically, you can also have, your house
collateral. I put collateral up in the form of
an illiquid asset, in a sense. Now, the big issue with how traditional loans work and how I am dead set against these traditional mechanisms are you pay interest, and your interest accrues over time. So let's say you pay 10% interest over the first year, then of course it compounds, and the next year you pay another 10% or something like that, right? Where the system basically exploits you when you don't have money. So basically, you come and say, "Hey, I'm broke. I need to get some money so I can do something." And the bank is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you the money, but if you don't get me the money in time, you gotta pay more money on that money that you didn't have to begin with." I'm dead set against these kind of things. I think that is not how things should operate. How Prion works is
I totally agree with that too. I mean, it's and that's the debt trap. You know,
it is
that's
the
the death
devil's tool.
spiral.
It is literally the devil's tool.
But
With how we work, in an interest-free loan, so we don't charge interest from your loan, right? Very, very
Okay.
important. I never charge interest. You will see in all my products that I build, my products themselves never charge interest.
You got me there as far as interest free. I understand that. If I can put collateral up to take out loan against that, you know, you were talking about gold bars, right? And
Exactly. So basically, yeah. So basically, you can imagine how it works is we're gonna chip off a part of your gold bar when you get your money back, but we will never chip more off. So that gold bar is yours. But say because we take your asset that is illiquid, technically we can't do anything with it except for holding it. We charge a service fee, right, for maintaining that gold bar in your absence, in a sense. So that is how we operate. So basically, it's a good way for users who have issues with the liquidity and that don't have the money, right? In a sense, but have something that is appreciated in terms of money to actually get money. So how we work on things, I think, is like the best way to how to handle loans, right? You have a gold bar, you can't do anything with it, and instead of charging you more and more over time, we just say, hey, we're gonna take a cut from that gold bar that is ours, and the money is basically technically yours, but we keep that gold bar and that part, right?
Mhm.
And
And
that is
then,
how.
but that service fee, is that going to be burned as far as increasing force appreciation or
Exactly. So we technically take that gold bar and go somewhere else, for example, and liquefy that and then buy Sphere and burn it. For example, that is one mechanism. Another mechanism is we can buy Penrose and so that Prion can hold more governance over Penrose if necessary. So there's a lot of different variables to account for. But the most important thing is we don't take loan with interest, so you don't lose your, like we don't exploit people in that sense. We actually provide them a way.
I think, yeah, since somebody like a famous investor, maybe even Warren Buffett said, like, if you want to be rich, the most important thing is to understand compound interest.
Exactly.
So the poor people pay it while the rich get it. And so that typically is a statement against borrowing, but here it's borrowing where you can actually get compound interest. Because if you put, yeah,
sorry.
okay.
Please go ahead.
Oh, I already said everything. It's like the first time it's the loan where you get compound interest rather you pay compound interest.
Yeah.
So that's why it's actually a fair product. Yeah.
Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Okay, and from what I understand, basically, like if you've got pretty good money, carrying some debt is always good. So long as you don't go hog wild with it and paying that back. Because I could leverage it for, let's say, I want to buy a storage unit or set up a storage unit facility. So long as it's turning a profit and I can get it back in, like what's the terms going to be? I mean, are we talking a year, 20 years? I mean, like,
So can you repeat?
Like what would the terms be on a typical borrow as far as like, is it 6 months or 20 years? Did it just depend?
No. Technically, that would be always up to the protocol. That's what I can say for now.
Okay. The protocol of this side.
Typically, the way these things work is that you're not limited in terms of how long you can now have your loan. As long as you don't run into the risk of liquidation. The thing is, because there is a fee, which is like a fixed cost, it will take you time to get that fee back in terms of the kind of yield you earn.
Okay.
So it's actually not how much, what's the maximum limit, it's like what's minimum limit, which makes sense, because you'll be kind of immobilizing your capital for a certain number of months or maybe years, or like a few months until you get back the fee, which is going to be charged. So if you are prepared to be, and that's actually the beauty of the scheme, because why it's a win-win for everyone, except the speculative capital, because typically the big issue of DeFi is that like all the liquidity is speculative. It's not loyal. It transfers to wherever yield is, and then it comes and then it goes. But if it comes to Penrose and it then gets leveraged, then you will have actually to immobilize liquidity in the Penrose. Penrose will win because we'll have loyal liquidity providers, something which does not exist in DeFi at the moment. It will have loyal liquidity providers, and that is why it will grow the pie for overnight, Penrose, Dystopia, and Sphere, and for you.
Be another layer to that deep liquidity. Yes.
Yeah. But
Okay.
now it's going to be deep loyal liquidity. Yeah.
That is like a big issue, right?
I got one more question too, as far as with the games. Like when we go deflationary and games gets rewritten, is it going to carry over? And I think I read it's going to be cut back to like once a week as far as a drawing. And if that's the case, basically, am I going to have to move my money over? We're not, we've got that proxy contract, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be with 2.1. You will get you're gonna take out what we're gonna do, of course, like last time. Even if you hold tokens in play games, whatever you wanna call it, it's gonna be stuck in there, and you will get the actual sweet token back. That's how it's gonna work. And it's gonna be rewritten based on volume. So volume is gonna determine the pool price. We are actually also thinking of maybe having a different way of doing things. Maybe when you join, you chip a small amount of Sphere as well when you join, so that you pay like, I don't know, 1% or something that goes also in the pool. So when people join as well, they pay also a small fee for joining the pool.
Gotcha.
But
Okay,
yeah, I would actually incentivize everyone to watch the videos. I think first of all, I want to thank Andrew. I want to thank you, Max, as well for all the good questions so far. Do we have one more question from OX Dark? Otherwise, I would say
yeah, sure.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh.
no, I can't.
Yeah, we can, Dark.
We can't.
Okay.
Last question,
Hello?
right?
Hello.
Last question.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try and make it a good one. Yeah, I understand that we're building something that hasn't been done before, and that to me is really exciting. When you think about the trajectory of the huge shift that is, that's happening during this kind of information age, I really believe that we are in that transition into that next phase of DeFi and cryptocurrency. So with all these financial products and strategies, there's a lot of terms and concepts you need to understand. And you touched on a little bit about this, Max and Sim. You have to know liquidity and permanent loss, collateralization, governance, stablecoins, deflation, depegging. It's a lot for someone who has zero understanding of this space. And if you think about it, the majority of these AMAs is education and understanding of these financial concepts. So I think the biggest challenge in DeFi is that we as an industry, as a community, haven't solved that problem, that simplistic design problem. And so I'm curious to know if you guys have been thinking about this, or what you think needs to happen in terms of design for DeFi products.
Yeah. So the long-term goal is hold Sphere, hold UC Plus, and make money. That is all of it. We're gonna
Nice.
bring Web2 simplicity to Web3. But you don't, like you right now, the average investor, and why we have to hold all these AMAs, why we have to explain what we are building. I'm not saying this is tiresome to me in a sense. I like talking to people and I like talking about the vision because, of course, it excites me to talk about that. But I know that the majority doesn't understand that. I know that the majority understands what DeFi is in a sense. in its inherent value or what it's supposed to be. But I know like the majority, 90% of the sphere holders don't know what impermanent losses. They think rebases are printing money out of thin air. When rebases stop, what next? You know, like these kind of things. Now you have to keep in mind that these people have a basic understanding of crypto and DeFi. What happens now if you go to your dad, for instance, who may have heard about Bitcoin and Ethereum sounds something out of a spaceship, right? These people you want to appeal because that is actual what big money is. Crypto is small. Crypto, I think, worldwide 1%, I think, holds crypto, and that accounts for each wallet, I think, and you know how many wallets do each and every one of us hold, right? So I think it's like a very, very small number actually that know crypto. So with Sphere, for instance, we want to build this S&P 500 thing, or like the Bitcoin of DeFi, as some people call it, or the BlackRock, right? Like a lot of different synonyms for what Sphere is building long term. And basically, we right now is the explanation phase because you know the community is so intertwined as of now that people actually are demanding to us to understand what is happening in the background. When you buy a stock or when you buy the S&P 500, you don't go to your portfolio manager in a sense and ask him, okay, what are you doing, right? Like, how do you generate money? You just know at one point, okay, this is going to generate me money, right? You don't go to Max technically in the future and say, hey Max, how are you making me money? As long as you're making money. The same freaking thing happened to freaking UST. No one asked, in a sense, like no one asked, how is that UST being brought to the people that use Anchor protocol? Where is that money coming from, right? No one. So we want to build an ecosystem that is actually backed by something and that is actually yield generating based on true fundamentals. And once Sphere has built all these different ecosystems and Overnight is also partaking of these different ecosystems, who knows, one day USD Plus is going to be held on exchanges, right? People are going to just buy Overnight or USD Plus rather, because they know, okay, this USD is going to make me more money. People are going to hold Sphere because people are going to be like, do you know how the S&P 500 crypto works, right? You just buy this token and long term it goes up in value. That is how people actually market S&P 500. If you go ask someone, he's going to tell you at the end of the day it goes up. And that is what we actually want to provide. And like you said, crypto is complex. I totally agree. And I personally don't think crypto is going to become less complex. But what happens is that DeFi is going to become more accessible by the means of it. By, like I said, having this crypto, like I said, proxy governance token, Sphere is going to have all of these different revenue streams coming. People don't understand what is happening in the background. If they want to know, they will know because it's the blockchain. We have a massive dashboard building up and that is coming. Overnight has a massive dashboard on the website where you can see like a Dystopia, Mesh Swap, Dodo, Aave, whatever, right? Like all of that is displayed. So the more savvy investor will find out. And what we want to actually attract, first of all, is institutional money. And second of all, it's like the broader masses. And you can only access the broader masses if you make it as simple as buying. That's it. Right now, we have to explain what we do. But in a year from now, I don't expect to have to explain everything that Sphere does. Because it's just a money-generating machine nonetheless.
Yeah, I think I totally echo what Sim is saying. I mean, it's simplifying the packaging, so kind of putting, like, it's like a low-cost airline. The planes which fly are extremely complex and stuff like that. But, for you, it should be as easy as buying a ticket.
Exactly. You don't care how the bread is made in the bakery. You just buy the bread. You know what I mean? You don't question things because it has a logical approach. One logical approach. What is it? It does this one thing. You don't ask yourself, how is a stablecoin holding its peg, knowing that curve pools, factory pools, bribing, all that stuff. You don't care about that. At the end of the day, let's say your stablecoin that you hold tomorrow morning when you wake up is a stablecoin and at $1. Right now, Sphere is at the building phase. People ask themselves, what is this protocol going to do? Where is it going? What is happening? But once it has this, it will go up anyway phase, right? That it's going to happen in the coming months. People are going to stop asking. And when we build something, it's just going to be a logical improvement, right? Right now, it's like, okay, skepsis, a lot of theoretical stuff. Same goes for overnight. I see a lot of people asking the questions, where's the yield coming from, etc., etc., etc. But at one point, overnight will have proven itself over time, especially after this crypto winter, where all the projects that have survived through that crypto winter are gonna become OGs. So if Sphere survives this crypto winter and it thrives to the next bull market, it's an OG. Same goes for overnight. And when that happens, and when it has proven itself in the market to be, to stay relevant, to keep the relevancy, and to actually be profitable, that is why this is going to be a project for the long term, right?
Nice.
And that is exactly what Sphere is gonna do. You don't have to go to Aave, whatever, etc., because USD Plus is gonna do that for you. You're just gonna buy USD Plus, and Max here, and I, to a certain extent, will be working on the back end stuff. When I say Max and I, it means also our teams, right? But we're gonna be working on the complex stuff to make you money. We earn a small fee from that because, of course, we also have to make some money, right? Like the team has to make money to actually pay off its costs, whatever. And because we are innovating the space, we have our share, of course. But you as a user, you also generate money. And that is like the big thing. You make money, we make money, everyone makes money. And it's as simple for you as to buy. You just go to USD Plus, overnight, buy the token. Sphere, you go to TetherSwap, you buy the token. After a year, you come back, you see, oh, I made this and that amount of money. That is all of it. Literally all of it. And once we have that ecosystems built up and pent up and ready to go, we are ready to go on centralized exchanges. We are ready to go to get more and more into Web 2, to get the Web 2 integrations for Sphere, for overnight, as things process to be more and more, mainstream. Right now, we got to build the fundamentals.
Yeah, no, totally get it. And, thanks for talking through a lot of that stuff. Well, hey, here's to getting more of that bread.
Definitely. Just a matter.
Thanks, Dark. Really great question. Lee May has one really quick question, as he promised, or she
Yeah,
promised.
no worries. If we have more questions, we can hit them. I thought, Max needs his beauty sleep, right? You guys don't know how Max looks like. He's a handsome old fella. So, that's why I was saying, if we gotta go, we gotta go. But I'm free to answer questions if they're piling up, if there's some more questions.
Yeah, let's if you have time, then let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is actually very important to communicate, or maybe all communicate.
Yeah.
At this
Go ahead.
stage.
Hey, Sim. Hey, Max. I appreciate it. I'll try to make it real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Regarding Prion,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys will be, writing a contract to liquidate these. I think the biggest concern for everybody is over collateralization and over leveraging that Prion or POSD, whatever it's going to be called. So I'm sure the contract's going to be written, and I guess the biggest question on my end is how that contract is going to determine which LPs are liquidated. Is it going to be like first in, last out, last in, first out? Because there's going to be, I'm assuming, so many loans that are going to be in there, small LPs, larger LPs. And if the contract, if there is a liquidity event and you guys do need to, or the contract needs to liquidate to make sure PUSD or whatever it's going to be called is, needs to hold its peg and LPs need to be liquidated, what is the decision-making process by the contract in terms of that? Because it's going to be unwinding a lot of those LPs, I'm assuming, depending on what is needed.
Exactly. That was already the response to, right? It checks all the collateral, all the loans, and every loan that is ready to get liquidated gets liquidated. Right?
No, I'm saying it would just automatically do it, right?
Yeah.
But my question is how is it determined if there is a liquidity event? How does that contract determine? Is it the oldest loans in? Is it the newest loans in?
It's an array. Basically, every loan gets added to a list, and it just systematically goes through the list. It's not going to be like a randomizer. Imagine you just recently joined, and one guy who is older than you doesn't get liquidated, but you do, right? No, it's like a list, and everyone who gets liquidated, after in ascending to that list.
Okay, thanks.
Does that make sense? But
makes
I
sense.
forgot one thing. There's one exception. The exception is if you make a loan, you're gonna get liquidated always as first, even if it's not your time. You have a special place.
Oh, I do. Oh,
Just
okay.
kidding.
You're gonna be watching out for my wallet address.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch all your wallet bits, and like if there's a liquidation event happening, I'm just gonna have like this Lime button. Gotta click on that one. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it has a list, and it goes through that list.
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't know.
So how are we feeling, guys? Do we want to continue taking questions? We've got 3 people in the line, or we'll wrap it up for the day.
You can hit me. Like I don't care. Like if it's up to max, like I said, I just came today from my supposed vacation. I'm charged up. I can take a few more.
All right. Barbarian Ran and Theory and Crypto Todd.
Hi, can you hear me?
Get everyone on the stage and let's just ask your questions one by one. Max, I don't think we can hear you though. Max, can you say something? Yeah, we cannot hear you, unfortunately. No, we cannot hear you, Max.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we cannot hear Max. I see him on a restream soft we use to stream it to Twitter, but I'm not hearing him, so and I cannot read his lips, unfortunately.
I think it's back now.
Yeah, now we can hear you, Max. Yep. All right. Go ahead. Who was the first? I think it was Barbarian Run.
All right. So I have a question to check if I have it all wrapped up in my head, how this all works. So if I take my USDC and USD Plus and I will put it on Penrose to get the rewards.
Sphere and Penrose Plus, sorry?
Sorry, what?
Oh, USDC and USD Plus. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, if I make the pair with USD Plus and USDC, and I put it into Penrose, I, in a sense, do not really have a great risk since it's back to the dollar, right?
Exactly.
All right. So that being risk-free, what is the true risk? Because from my perspective, if I put it in Penrose and it will go on Dystopia, I will get my dist and pen emissions, and I can also reintegrate that as well. So it's basically making money with no risk.
Technically.
Okay, that's insane. Thank you. That was the question.
No worries. Of course, the risk is like everywhere else.
Yeah, I know. If the dollar breaks down, if something major happens, but in a sense, it is less risky than a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fury, you're the next.
Hey guys, yeah, just a quick one. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone else in the audience as well, because people have been asking very good questions. I don't know how everyone's ability to articulate themselves is, but yeah, just hearing some of the questions, there are things that pop into my mind and then they slip out, and then if I hear someone else asking it, it's like, oh shit, perfect. So glad to see we have some good brains in the audience, and overall, same thing that everyone else has been saying. You guys' rates of building is insane. What you guys are doing is amazing, and it's very interesting to see how much you guys have been able to do in these past two months. And yeah, just love it. My question is just a quick one. I wanted to find out when the complete loop begins. When are you guys expecting to launch Preon? And yeah, that's just my question.
Never.
Never. Wow, don't do that to me, Sim.
Never say never. I don't want to give time frames. Soon.
Okay.
Preon, I'm gonna post a little leak because I just love the logo. Preon.
Okay. So we have the logo to look up for.
I didn't say that.
But anyway, I
Whatever,
mean,
whatever comes, never say I sent stuff, because I'm gonna get, like, I'm head lead of Sphere, but I'm sometimes afraid of my core team. So whatever I post, he never came out. So basically, Prion, and the star shape is because of the Prion star, right? That's why the logo.
Mhm.
I think that is a hella rad.
The first time you mentioned Prion, it was just, it's a bit too sus, man. I hope you remember what I'm referring to.
Leave me alone.
But it was good. I
Yeah.
understood it, so
Yeah. So yeah, basically,
Love it.
thank you. I would say, and that is not back scratching myself, but we have really, really rad designs for our front end stuff. I really like how my front end dev team is actually like, I don't even see some of the designs, and then I see them when they are done, and I'm like, wow, that looks so good. So I really love the logo, even like the Prion star in a sense, right? It looks so good. This is just a test. Like, it may not be the logo at the end. Just, I'm just showing it. So yeah, I showed Max the entire roadmap for the next. So basically, the idea of having all of the roadmap is until September, I think, to be done. But basically, we have pushed already Dystopia and Penrose in 2 months since inception of Sphere. So I don't think Prion is gonna take for too long. And Prion is actually not the only thing that is gonna come very soon. That's what I can say. We already
I mean,
working on.
that's more than enough information. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and very excited even to like get the hint that there's more to come after. I know you hinted at it in the previous anime as well. It slipped my mind, and now I just remember. And yeah. That's hype.
We are building, I think, like in total. And I told that Max, I don't think, when I say we are building, it doesn't mean only the Sphere team. I consider the Tattoo team and the Overnight team also part of the bigger vision, like, because all of us share the bigger vision, right? And when I say we, it is all of the other teams also part of that. So basically, I envision that it's, we were gonna have like 9 to 10 products in the coming months, which are all, revenue streams, and all good revenue streams.
Okay. I appreciate that. And like I said before, you guys' build rates is like amazing, and the quality, you would assume just because the build rate is so high that the quality would be fading. We picked up on the announcements when Penrose was out, the bug fixes, the UI fixes, like the speed at which you guys were looking at the tickets. Like, honestly, hats off for you guys. Like, it's impressive. Well done, guys.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Max,
Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
You're still muted, Max. Yeah, but Max writing in chat. Guys, I think that everyone who wanted to ask their questions already did that, either in our chat or here. If anyone on the stage is still, we didn't ask you guys a question. Just fire in.
I have a few questions that I promised to answer. If that is fine. They're like 4 questions, 2 questions that I want to answer.
You want to do it now, or yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's from Volar, so
Sure, go ahead.
Volar asked, I was trying to show Dystopia Penrose, and there's a question about audit and smart contract vulnerability. How do we answer these? So far, I just tell them that Dystopia is a solid default, but that doesn't really sound convincing. The question is now why. It has multiple audits already and multiple peer reviews. Also, solidly has been improved by Dystopia. We have 100% coverage and a lot of tests. The Mythics audits are already there, and it's built by arguably the best builders in the space. That is the Tattoo team. I would say a few teams match Sphere's pace, and that is for sure also the Tattoo team. So yeah, it is pretty safe. And Andre Cronje built this, and he also built Aave and the same, and sorry, not Aave, yeah, and the same. So they have also been battle tested. Some people from the my community were saying that once we some people from my community were saying that when Sphere rebase stops, the price is gonna tank. Me myself, I'm going to DCA into Sphere again when that happens. However, how do we answer these people? Is it good riddance for them? People think that rebase is what is making the money. So when you take that away, and people don't understand that the market cap growth is actual the reason why you make money in rebase protocols. When they don't understand that, then you cannot convince them. We have a lot of YouTube videos. You can show that to them. They should watch the video and understand their investment. And if they don't understand their investment, they're gonna inevitably sell, which is good. You can buy at a discount. We can burn more Sphere, have the ceiling already increase. It is what it is.
If I can say to those people, it's super simple. More tokens, price low. Less tokens, price high.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Are we done with questions? See, because I have two more announcements, like one announcement and one ask.
Of course, go ahead.
Yeah. So, guys, since we started started to talk about logos, I have something to share with you here, and this is extremely exciting for us because we as a team have been working on updating our overnight finance logo. So it's been incredible help from the community, incredible help from Dark, who is by profession a designer, and of course our own internal designer Uliana. So I'm sharing this with you today. This is
wait. Is it my logo that I made for overnight? Just post it.
No,
I drew one.
not this one. All right. So sharing with you here. So this is what we will be looking like moving on. And just click on it to make it larger, and I walk you through it. So essentially, what's going on here? You know that overnight finance is about stability and security. That is why this notion, this box thing is here. But also, you see those white lines, and we added those lines to cross the box sides so that you see the cycle, the dynamics, and it kind of tells you the story of overnight finance and of USD plus. Basically, what happens is that every night, overnight, we're seeing a rebase, right? And it's happening every night, and it's safe. It's kind of like your rebasing box. And of course, the center of what we're doing is a plus, and plus is a sign of USD plus, and of course, it symbolizes the profits which you're getting from USD plus. The colors as well, like blue colors. So this is something that's close to us currently. Like we'll like it, and it also should provide you a sense of stability and safety. We also played a lot with the font to make it nice, so that it's not like all capitalized, but without any single capital letter. And it matches the logo. So basically, a lot to talk about it. But yeah, I'll just leave it here. And yeah, we're extremely excited as a team. It's been a journey. Thanks everyone who helped us with the decision and with the direction. It's not necessarily like the one which was a which we gave you to vote for, but it was an inspiration. Like those three were an inspiration for this one. So thanks all of you who really helped us make it happen. And there's a dark version of it as well, of course. So yeah, we're going to put it soon on our website, and you'll see it popping up in all our on all our materials. So I see the reaction is pretty good here. Another important ask is we want to spread the word about USD Plus, guys. And and you follow a lot of DeFi influencers. So Abdul will be posting a link where we are asking you to paste your favorite influencers so that we could reach out to them and just say that, hey, here's Max, here's the team, here's what we're doing. We want you to spread the word about it. So if you know someone, just drop it in the link which we're about to share. We're really grateful for that. So I think this is it for today. Max, were you able to fix your mic? No. Max is speaking, but we're not hearing him, unfortunately. All right, we'll figure that out sometime later. Sim, any last words to the community?
Did you guys wash your hands?
Yes, believe it.
Okay, I'm content. About to? Ayo. Max, fire this dude. Go wash your hands. No, it's been a pleasure as always. I didn't expect the AMA to, or is it an AMA? What do you call that? Yeah, it is. Like, this is the pinnacle of AMAs. To go for 2 hours. I didn't expect to, raid the AMA, but it's always a pleasure talking to you guys and, partaking in conversations, take questions, sit a little bit in the hot seat. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's amazing. Great to have you here, Simsala. Always, Max is nodding. I see him confirming my words that like it's not even a partnership. It's like a family now, and it feels like
Definitely.
we depend on each other. We're moving together, and our success depends on each other. So anytime, like, we're happy to see you here, and of course we're happy to join whenever you have anything like that.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, likewise. I also told Max, it's not like we don't even look at the financial benefit. I think at the very beginning, Max, it was like a conversation that we had where it was like, okay, how does Sphere benefit from this? How does Overnight benefit from this? But right now, it's like, we're just building to benefit the other guy. Like, it's like, I tell Max maybe ideas that don't even correlate to anything that I'm building, right? Like, I don't know, go touch some grass, something that doesn't give me any value in a sense, except for Max himself. It gives Overnight itself gets value from that. And it's like likewise, he tells me, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? It doesn't have to be anything about, our product, having this own benefit. But the good part is, and why I'm so bullish on Overnight, and it's because of the team. Well, the product is also great, but it's not the reason why I'm so invested in the ecosystem. It's because if you know that the team behind the product is solid, it's a good product, right? No matter what happens. And with the Overnight team, I can 101% vouch that these guys are working and thinking and improving every freaking day. And I know that by heart because Max messages me every day with ideas, suggestions, and questions, which not many, and that is said, many devs do. And the same goes for me. I go ask Max also, like, hey, what about this? What about that? Let's do this, let's do that. So I'm very, very bullish on I wouldn't call it partnership, to be honest. In this, like, we are a team. It is a fact. Like, we are not working on the same products, but we are a team. Like, we are like the same. We're sharing all the same vision, but we are working on different branches. That is what I Max told. I don't look at, like, if I have a question or if I need something being built, and that is like the great part of Tattoo, Overnight, Penrose, Dystopia. It's not like I have to ask somewhere else. I can literally ask Max, hey, can you give me a dev and can you help me build this? Or hey Max, can you give me this trade bot so that I can maintain peg of whatever token? He's gonna be like, yeah, here, sure, take it. And the same is like, it's mutual, and that is like the beauty of things. So here at Overnight, you are in very good hands. And yeah, these are my closing words.
Yeah.
Sorry for going so long.
Thanks. Huge thumbs up from Max. I see him on a screen. And just for everyone, we opened an Overnight VC voice chat. So there was an appetite to go and discuss things internally, like not internally, but in the voice chat between folks. So feel free to jump right after this AMA there, and we might also pop up, like maybe some of us there as well. So, well, thanks everyone for this AMA. Thanks Sim, thanks Lilo, thanks everyone who was on the stage today. It was an amazing AMA. It's not always, but like thanks to all of you today. This was great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya. Bye.